Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to the finals of the Final Fantasy Lich Low Limit Tournament. I am Melee Wizard, and alongside me is Magius. How are you doing today?
I'm holding. Melee, how are you holding up? This is going to be a delight for tonight.
Yep. We got ourselves Wildham, Min the Mage, Ragnarok, and Dwight. So this should be a rather interesting matchup, to be sure. Just looking at...
Routes. I was agreeing with you on that one.
Looks like we do have some divergence in party selection. Wildham and Ragnarok went fighter, Mage went fighter, thief, red, black, and Dwight went fighter, red, white, black, or fighter, rainbow. So we'll see if the white magic kind of plays well into Dwight's hands here.
Surprise, no one.
I'm sorry, what?
So,
and we are off!
You take a black.
The option was there, but I guess, since we do have the burst weapons here, I guess, the potential of having really good weapons is, yep, Fire 2, Lit 2, Quad X, AoE in the early game will not be an issue.
Plus also heal 2 at level 1 white magic, which will be very good. I know there's going to be no incentives in the pool, so except for I think the canal, so this is going to be a very good one.
Yeah, the only incentivized weapon in the pool is Thor's hammer, so good for AoE, not for much else.
Yep, since we have... I'm trying to remember if it's just the standard locations or... No, it's not that much loose, if not any. Just trying to remember all the small flag detail.
The only item that is loose will be the canal, and we already have a couple garland deaths. I did see the slab from the king earlier. Somebody went and grabbed that. And the chime from Sarah. For incentivized locations, besides the NPCs, we have Ice Cave, Ordeals, Titan's Trove, and the 4 Fiend Dungeons, Earth Cave, Volcano, Sea Shrine, and Sky.
So, the runners know where every location is once they find that Thor's hammer.
Yep. And for the non-key item incentivized items, we have Thor hammer, Opal bracelet, white shirt, and black shirt.
I can tell you which of those I would want out of them if I could only get one of them.
White shirt.
You called it!
Yeah, the evasion stacks can be a very, very nice thing. And looks like we have Min the Mage being our first to head over to Provoca. We'll see what we've got for our second level magic. There's Wall and Life. That's nice.
That's going to be very good. And for black magic, Fire
Temper and
Nuke! Nuke! Oh god, Nuke!
Well, thing is, seeing Temper and Nuke at the same level can be a little scary because you have to kind of ration things between the two, depending on what your circumstances are. Definitely.
You'll probably see them using Nuke on any giant parties, and when they need to throw a Temper out on individual enemies, they'll be using that. Since all of them have a fighter, the fighter will have access to Wall and Life, as well as, I believe, Heal 2. Heal 2 was slot 3. I don't remember if that's White Mage only or not. But
White Mage only is slot 2, and the pirates, I believe, had the crown. So that's a bit of a fetch chain underway.
Also, apparently, Oxyale at the vendor item here.
I did not see that. Good catch.
No problem. It's what we're all meant. It's what we're all here for.
So at this point, we're still looking for that canal. And it comes down to either the first couple chests in Dwarf Cave. I don't think anyone's checked that. The chests in Matoya, and everybody's favorite, Marsh Cave.
You mean the dungeon that shall not be spoken?
I already spoken. It's too late for that.
True enough. True enough. Looks like Midland Mage is going to be checking Matoya real soon, so we'll have at least one of those locations scratched off real soon. We have money, soft potion, and a giant axe.
That was a great axe, plus 4 granted, but it's probably not worth. Looks like it wasn't worth keeping. And we see Ragnarok taking a pop grind, putting those nuke charges to good use. Although getting some low rolls there against those giants. Some pretty good armor in Provoca too. Wooden +5, chain +2. I'd say though the pro rings are there too. -2 granted, but 5,000, it's not that bad overpriced for a pro ring. Goodness knows when you're getting a pro ring, you're not getting it because of the defense. Elfland check, we saw fast at level 3.
Ooh, that will be useful. And for white magic,
Cure 4,
life 2! Oh.
Cure 4, life 2, both of them light knight learnable.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet for them once they promote.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
no incentive to not promote when you find the tail.
Uh-huh. Okay, and the Oxyale was about 11,000. Okay, I see it now. Not a bad price, and goodness knows the Oxyale, that can wait for a while if need be. If it was, say, the floater, that would be a different story, but the Oxyale, we can hold off on picking that up for a little bit.
I mean, if Town Shuffle was on, you'd pick that up immediately in case you found on-rack.
True.
Same thing if it was Entered Shuffle, but you're right about that. It's not worth it unless something like the canal. Well, it wouldn't be the canal there. If we had several locations, you would see that one, but ooh, we found the adamant.
Adamant from Astos. Since I don't think anyone has been to Dwarf Cave, that's a good bit of efficiency right there, so you can check the 2 chests and turn in the adamant all in one go. The only thing that would be better is if you had both the key and the TNT, so you can clear out the whole place in one trip.
I mean, lazy dwarves, it's possible.
It's possible, yeah.
Adamant to the TNT to the key is probably the best order you would want in this case.
Why not go even better? Have the canal in the dwarf treasury. Because this early, the key can be kind of a double-edged sword. Because that opens up a lot of options early on for where that canal could end up.
True, but at the same point, would you want to go and get the key? Would you really want to go check Marsh if the canal wasn't there?
If anything, the key also opens up Keylock Marsh as an option for where the canal could end up, so... take that as you will. Anyway, it looks like Wildham is going to be heading off towards Dwarf Cave to see what we have available for us there.
I mean, this is a good play. Wildham... Oh, this is not going to be a good play for It's a good play for Wildham, however, they'll have to double dip.
Yeah.
Since they do not have the adamant there. Unless the canal is the first 2 chests. And we have money and a cabin. So the goods from a C, but it's not what we're looking for.
Yeah, wrong 5-letter C word, yeah. Alright, so the first 2 chests are a bust. The extra bit of money does help, but it's not really what we're looking for at the moment, though. But, what does the adamant give? It gives the cube. Oh boy. Well, I think that leaves only one place left to go, huh?
The rest of the cell might be made, and looks like the dwarfsmith decided to give the runners a GameCube.
Yeah. Doesn't help us now. But yeah, it's march or bust at this point.
I mean, it's probably like, the cube wise of this it's one of those like really limited edition ones. I mean, there's only one in existence.
Since we have the chime and the cube so early on, once we do get the canal, I'm curious to see who will end up making a beeline for Sky, because, Sky.
I'm calling Ragnarok and Dwight. Might consider that because they have very good, they, do like to take risks on that one. I mean, they're members of our Iron Goal Heavy Metal Championship, so I know they're not afraid to go to Sky this early. My guess is you'll see the runners stop by Melmon, check there. Don't have to Ruby. They'll either check around, or they'll head to Crescent Lake and Sky. Now, Melee, if you were one of our runners, where would you go?
Well, presumably after Canal. Considering that all 4 Fiend Dungeons are incentivized locations, don't have the canoe yet. That really does limit what we can do at this point. Sky might actually end up being the better play, because we can't do ordeals, we can't do volcano or ice.
We can check Earth. It has an incentive location.
True. But it's always kind of a iffy proposition when you don't have the rod already.
I mean, I could see our runners going back and picking up the Oxio and hitting up Sea Shrine, since it has a location and beatable Fiend.
And a whole bunch of treasure in the mermaid side as well. And that is where the incentivized chest is anyway. And Wildham is our first to go into Marsh. Not even bothering to turn in the Adamant yet, just going straight there. Though I guess he knows that the canal has to be a loose item, so he knows that the blacksmith isn't going to be giving it to him. Got money for starters. And then the mage and Dwight are pretty much almost, well, we're almost step for step heading towards Marsh as well.
And to answer the question in chat, this is the championship for the Lich's low-level tournament. It was essentially a, would you call it a side tournament, Melee? For those that didn't make the brackets?
Yeah, it was pretty much a side tournament, mostly for those who didn't rank highly in the in any of the recent tournaments that had been going on.
Well, that and also for fun on that one. It's like, if you didn't make the brackets, here's a consolation prize. Have some fun with everybody. And, it's low stakes, all Fiend stuff. It's just like, it's fun. It's fun for the whole family.
And I believe it was 4-player free-for-alls the entire way through, with kind of a point system based on how well you placed, with these 4 being the top of the heap. So, and at this point, the points don't matter. Good, winner takes all. And the top side of Marsh didn't really have much.
Also, shout out to Sewer for helping to organize this. So let's see, first chest, money.
Oh, and fighters have fire too! Oh dear.
Ew.
That's not good. I mean, it won't be so bad once we get out of here, but while we're here, ew.
I know. Plus, also one of the interesting things with this is it also gets to show the new blurst mechanic. Melee, you want to explain this one this time?
Sure. Basically, blurst is it's a combination of blessed and cursed. The weapons and armor, which they are two separate flags, any given piece of equipment can have bonuses or penalties to them, to a scale of plus or minus up to 5, and there's the canal. For weapons, It improves attack power, hit percent, and crit rate. And for armor, it improves the absorb rating, and it reduces affects the evade penalty.
I believe that part is only for chest armor.
Actually,
also...
it does apply to all of them. I believe it's just, at the very least, the absorb rating is doubled for chest pieces.
Also, apparently we missed one of the enemies having stone touch, as 2 of Min's light warriors are down.
2 of them? I know one of them had been stoned for a while. I never did see what caused it though.
I think I saw a second one.
No, but it's still just the one.
The black mage being in white sort of made it look like it.
Yeah, it was... I want to say it was like that by around when Min was at Dwarf Cave, so... Could have been there at some point.
Anyway, it looks like Wildham is almost out of here.
I think the only nasty thing we saw so far was those spiders with fire too, so not the worst swamp cave we've seen before.
I mean, the marsh is annoying, and Anglo is on the trap tile. Listed earlier. I mean, they don't give the best EXP, and besides that, it was way too early to try to grind on them. Also, Dwight picking up their canal. I mean, technically they have nukes, so if you got enough casters of it, I could see them maybe trying it once if they had warp. I mean, they also have life, so... What do you think? Roll the dice?
On an Ankylo grind? Probably not, no. Ankylos tend to hurt, especially at these levels. Unless they roll like really low for health, I don't think it's worth it.
I mean, they are gambling, but looks like Min the Maid's also picking up their canal.
Like, it would be bad if there... I would be surprised if there weren't a better trap tile at some point.
Oh, more than likely. I'm just saying to get some early game levels. Also, let's hope our runners do not forget that the Oxiel is in Provoca.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate.
I mean, an early, semi-expensive vendor item does make sometimes because you're checking a lot of other towns for magic, weapons and armor, and so on and so forth.
I guess as long as the canoe and or floater isn't in Sea Shrine, then it's probably not that bad. It's probably not that big of a deal because once you're in the air, you can just go to Provoca, buy the Oxio real quick, and then head over to Onrak or something.
Also, you were right about the Ankylos hitting hard because Ragnarok did at least throw out a Duke on that one. It survived the Duke. After basically knocking down one of his light warriors.
Looks like it was the Black Mage, which, you know, Black Mages tend to be squishy on the best of days.
I can assume that he queued up 2 nukes, so could have had it down, but still. Have we seen the weapons and armor in Elfland yet?
I don't remember. So at this point, with that Scimitar +4, I think that might it might do us a bit of good until we find something better, like an ice sword or something.
You're hoping none of the end-game weapons are -5.
Yeah. I'm sure Chad would enjoy it, but yeah, I wouldn't know. I would want to see it.
I mean, I think everybody would want to see that. That's not in this race.
Oh, of course.
I mean, the community in and of itself knows that if you gotta deal with anything bad, the community, it's a love-hate relationship. The community loves to see that, people have to deal with it, and the people, running it hate that they have to deal with it, but, it's the randomizer community for the game. We all...
Alright, so Dwight is out of the Inner Sea, and Wildham is as well. Dwight's making a beeline straight for Crescent Lake. While Wildham is checking Melman. Let's see what kind of stuff we've got. Harm 3 in level 5 White Magic. Oh, there's Lock 2. Let me just check one thing here.
Lock 2?
Locked, yep, locked. We do have the always hit on, so that's good.
Yep, and about him talking to Dr. Learning a new language in under a second.
And it's the crystal at Crescent Lake.
That's actually good on that one, considering Matoya's cave on that one. Plus, also might remind Dwight to pick up the Oxyale.
Yeah, most likely having to go back into the Inner Sea to do all that. Some might find that a little annoying.
Exit level 5. Also, Ragnarok giving us a look at the armor shop. We found gold bracelets. They're over 10k.
Yeah, not bad for gold bracelets, yeah. I didn't see what the plus or minus was on it, though.
I did not either. I noticed the gold part, did not notice the thing on it, but, hopefully one of our other runners will give us a look.
And knowing that knowing where the pro rings and the gold bracelets are, I don't think we'll be seeing them check any other armor shops. And okay, it's vanilla. All right, pretty good.
And nearly 20k make that.
That is actually pretty cheap for gold bracelets.
I mean, if you can get it for cheaper... Ooh, I forgot. Heal 3 and Fade at levels 6 White Magic.
I think that was Cure 3, Exit, and Fade, yeah. And Bane in the Black Magic.
Yeah, I'll track it or correct this, but looks like Ragnarok is actually going to check the actual crystal.
Yeah. Going back into the Inner Sea. Not gonna have a much better time to do it than now, I guess.
I mean, you're by a crescent. This actually may pay off huge for Ragnarok, depending on if our runners go back there or not. I'm assuming, depending on where Ragnarok's saved, if it's nothing good, they will reset out, but let's see what we have today.
It's the herb. Okay, more fetch questing.
As a positive, and I might add, the obligatory, is this even randomized? But, also, it's a positive. Don't they get extra EXP based on the number of key items?
Let me double check that. Yes, 5% per item.
So that is definitely going to help Ragnarok out.
Oh, the Sahags have Blizzard. Ew. They don't seem to be too spammy with it, thank goodness.
The Shags like leaving them out in the cold. And looks like Dwight is actually beelining it to Sky.
Looks like it, yeah.
Okay, let's see what the I make the drug deal joke, but let's see what the Prince gets today. Black shirt.
Black shirt +3. All right, free ice 2s, and I believe everyone has a black mage, so that's really good armor for them.
Most definitely. So where are you hoping our progression is? Sky or Earth?
Ooh, there's the power gauntlet +1. Nice. How about be really mean? Have floater in one, canoe in the other.
I mean, I'm personally a fan of. Let's see. The only fetch quest we have is the TNT. Oh, I forgot. We have the Oxyale.
Yep.
I'm hoping they literally have to run around for everything to end up with nothing, to have to remember to go buy the Oxyale.
Oof. That would be kind of mean.
I mean... Ew, those nightmares.
Yeah, the nightmares are packing a punch, and...
Yeah, I definitely wanted to get some of those things. But,
the power gauntlet
after that wipe. Oh, definitely. Looks like Ragnarok is opting to check Earth Cave.
Ah.
I know a lot of runners that used to say never check Earth, especially with these type of flags, have started learning, we need to check Earth. There's, right up there, I've got exit/warp, so I can get out, and also checking the Hall of Giant strap tiles.
And, whoop, Bulls of Bane, that instantly makes that a non-desirable. Especially if they're being ambush happy.
Oh, not just that, but that's their first spell.
Yeah, that's and a whole bunch of frosty
and
stuff
Frost Giant
on the Earth tiles.
I mean, they're going down relatively fast, so that is a benefit.
Yeah.
So we have Minimates also stopping by picking up their herb from the Toya. We'll turn that in for a black shirt. And Wildham from Crescent, Sky then?
Based off where he is, I think he might be going in to turn in the crystal.
Yep, that's more than likely. So...
Not a lot in Earth 1, unfortunately.
While Dwight is almost at the greater than less than room. Wait, did I see that correctly with Min not having a single piece of armor on their characters?
Yeah, probably. I
mean, did Chain Arbors roll a curse tonight?
No. Ooh! Ribbon +5! No, Chain was +2, so... Maybe he just doesn't prioritize buying armor unless it's gold bracelets or something.
Maybe. But Ribbon 5, that is very good. But, ooh! Min! Making the actual, I will say Galaxy Blade play, but are they going to? No.
No, he's just buying houses.
I was about to say, I thought they were going to go buy the Oxyale, but the
And Min is going for Pop Grind. Ooh, Flame Armor +1, that's pretty good for Dwight. Unfortunately, they don't have exits, so you're gonna have to walk this out. Unless you really think you can take on Tiamat with this, or even get to Tiamat in the first place, which that might be a bit iffy at this point. And Ragnarok taking on the vampire, just throw in a nuke or two, and yep, vampire goes down. And the moment of truth, it's the TNT. If that turns into the rod, that's going to be annoying. Oh, but Dwight is going straight up to the Sky Palace. Okay. Oh boy, Dwight's he's skipping chest. He's probably just making a beeline for the incentivized chest. Okay. Which is here on the second floor of Sky. Min is heading back into Provoca. Is he gonna get that Oxyale now? Yes, he is. Okay. And according to our trackers, Ragnarok has bought the Oxyale as well. And moment of truth for Sky. What's our? It's the Ruby. So that's the Ruby unlocks. 2 key item locations, Titan's Trove and Sardis Cave. So that's pretty good. Let's see if Dwight is able to get out of here with his gains here. And it looks like Wildham is making the Sky play as well. So we know that Earth Cave has the TNT, which Ragnarok is about to turn in. So now it's a matter of seeing whether Min is going to go turn in that Ruby now, or if he's going to decide to do something else. He is making the play for Sea Shrine, it looks like. Oh right, it was Dwight that had got the Ruby. Ragnarok getting what was that oh, that was the bottle from the TNT turn-in. I'm surprised Mage isn't going checking that first chest on at least the one on the right side on the way to Mermaids. Might not be much, but considering that our big endgame swords, stuff like Masa and Vorpal and Katana and the like, aren't incentivized, they quite possibly can be anywhere.
Okay. So, where do you think they're gonna go next?
Well, I would expect Dwight to probably check what the Ruby will give. Might go to Earth Cave afterwards since he's right there.
Very true, very true.
And it looks like Ragnarok is making the sky play as well. And there's our second ribbon in Mermaids. You always love seeing ribbon +5. Gonna a ribbon minus anything really doesn't really matter much.
Yeah, the ribbon can't go below 1 absorb, and it naturally has to 1 absorb anyway.
Tail! That is the tail in the incentivized chest in Siege. So once we get that floater in canoe, we've got promotion available now. Waldham making some good use out of that black shirt. Conserving on resources at least a little bit.
So we have the tail. Min's got the tail. If you're Min, do you go and beat Kraken, or at least try to?
You have Nuke. Nuke can solve a lot of problems. At the very least, I would probably go back to town and save. But while I'm here, I might make that Kraken dive since I'm already there. If I didn't have Nuke or at the very least Lit 3, I probably wouldn't. And there's our third ribbon in Sky 3.
Nice. So Sky coming up. Sky being loaded tonight. If wiping the only one with the ruby, this is going to be interesting. Looks like Min is noping out of C. Looks like.
Ooh. Dwight almost committed a big blunder with their reset there, but was able to recover from it. And Ragnarok's on the Bridge of Destiny. What?
What?
Okay.
Let's.
Warmech is set to vanilla, so get your plus RNGs if you want to see someone very special greet Ragnarok here.
Also, you may notice that we also have the auto sort option on.
Yep.
I know a lot of our runners like it, and a lot of them don't. So this is going to be, so this is also just one of the ways that we get to show off some of the.
Ragnarok was able to make it to Tiamat.
So you're going for a nuke, 150. Going for another nuke, 340. Change 2 hits, 2 damage. Another nuke, 360. Dark coming out for Tiamat.
Alright, so some good rolls on the nukes so far.
190 from that one, another nuke 154, and terminated!
Tiamat is down! And at about 38 minutes, we have our first orb lit. I presume that Ragnarok got the ruby.
I believe they did, but we'll have to wait for the inventory.
Yeah, it was pretty much the main reason why you would go to Sky anyway, since is to at least check the incentivized chest.
That is true.
Although it looks like Wildham might have wiped out at some point because he's diving back in.
I think they did, but we'll see if they have to pick up the ruby again.
Alright, Dwight turning in the ruby. Let's see what our first major item is.
A heal pot, some money, wooden helmet, and
There's the canoe! Okay, so Sky was definitely required.
Also, Queen of the Titan. Much.
And Ragnarok is making a beeline to turn in the ruby as well.
Yep.
Meanwhile, some chests in Earth 2, I saw a free pro ring. And it's a white shirt in Zarda. White shirt +2. Very nice. Especially since Dwight is the only one here that actually picked a white mage. So, with the canoe, that opens up waterfall, ice, and volcano. One of those three has to have the floater, because I don't think there's anywhere else to go unless we get the rod, which opens up the back half of Earth, or the key, which opens up all the things that the key opens.
Yes, but we know the key can't really have anything, and there's the canoe for Ragnarok.
Oh, yeah, true, yeah. There aren't any key-locked incentivized stuff. I forgot about that.
Oh, we also forgot ordeals.
True, yeah.
And it looks like Wildham is in the maze as well, so get your blessed stars RNGs in chat as well.
Unfortunately, apparently that emote's not a thing anymore, but we can always do that in spirit.
Yeah, it depends on the channel, I think, but either way, you're right on that one. And Min actually at the vampire.
And Dwight about to be there as well.
After dealing with some frost giants and some frost wolves, and Min picks up their TNT.
And the TNT turns into the bottle, and we don't know if that's going to be important yet or not, because we still have it was Thorhammer and the Opal Bracelet as far as non-key items still in the incentivized pool.
Yep. So let's see, where is Ragnarok going now that they have the canoe?
Given that direction, might be making a plate of volcano and or ice.
I mean, considering they already checked Earth Cave, according to the tracker, this is probably the best play. Dwight hadn't checked it, so, you know, we'll be catching up soon on that one. And it looks like Wildham is just about to Tiamat. You want to call this fight this time melee?
Right. Thankfully, his red hydras aren't really hitting very hard. I saw some level 19s for Wildham. That's not bad. But at least give some survivability while the nuke casters do their thing. 168, and Tiamat leads off with the dark, so that's a free round. For 296, pretty good. And ooh, a 360 roll, nice. Tiamat's getting all sorts of turned around from these new casts. 348. And 174, Tiamat is down.
And at 43 minutes, 36 seconds, Wildham has lit the second orb of the match.
Meanwhile, Ragnarok is diving into Volcano. Lots of chests here. Could potentially find something really good, and that's an interesting trap tile there. Very experience rich. Although the Chimeras look... Ooh, they hit hard, don't they?
Yes, but our runners also have life too, so they will be at least guaranteed some of that EXP.
Yeah.
No EXP pinatas today so far.
Although it looks like Ragnarok is skipping past the armory for now. Probably focusing on that incentivized location chest and probably to take out Carrie along the way.
More than likely what we'll see is Ragnarok taking out Carrie, nuke strats.
Yep.
Getting the incentivized location, using the free warp out after beating Carrie to come back and Dragon Armor.
Dragon Armor +1! Oh, that's good. That is good.
Yep. Ragnarok just checking the free items here and there, picking up, the Dragon Armor, picking up some money. We'll see. Yep. Headed straight to that.
Yep. Well, considering there aren't any loose items outside of the canal, if you're confident with what you've got, why not just make a beeline for all the incentivized stuff?
Also, we found Warp and Invis, too. They're both at level 7, and they're both at the top slots.
Hey,
Rack.
you don't necessarily like seeing anything at level 7.
I mean, I know at least one of those two is red, if I recall correctly, is red wizard learnable. I know it's the top slot of one of those two that they can get, but I forget if it's Gaia is for white or Onrak is for white and vice versa.
I don't remember either. I think it might be Onrak, because I think Gaia has, like, the cure... Doesn't Gaia have, like, Cure 4 in vanilla? It's been so long, I don't remember now.
I don't remember either, but ooh, rock goals! I've grinded on some rock goals before, and looks like they are going down to nuke. If the roll is slightly high.
It looks like they have about
still,
200 or so, and it's a Thor hammer at Volcano.
I mean, it is an actual incentivized item.
Yeah.
And also, while I'm picking up their tail.
It's an incentivized item, but it's not necessarily the one you want to see. But that leaves only the opal bracelet left. And...
oh my god. Carry rolled low.
Oh
a single nuke.
Okay then, yeah, that's these fiends have not been too beefy so far. I mean, Tiamat had a decent amount of health, but just nothing a couple rounds worth of nukes couldn't handle.
Looks like Rag's going all in on those nuke casters. Probably thinking, wait, do they have a Feith, right?
No. Ragnarok has his fighter double red-black.
Okay, then 27 casts of nuke. They're assuming that'll be enough to carry them through Topher.
Assuming the Black Mage stays alive to actually get the levels, because that Black Mage has been dead for a lot of this seed for Ragnarok.
Very, very true.
And Dwight is making the waterfall play. So this is some new information for us.
Yep, we'll see some new information on both sides of our runners. And with our runners knowing that they don't need to check incentive, that this does actually decrease their odds of checking chests, but still. I mean, do you know if they've found any good endgame weapons yet?
No. I don't think they have. I think we might be still rocking like coral swords and scimitars.
I mean, if it's me, I'd be checking at least a few of the larger, item location spots like the armory, but we'll see if Ragnarok decides to check anything here as well.
The fact that you don't have... I don't think warp is available at the moment, so...
Level 7, top slot on rack.
The point is, it can't be used now, so... they have to go the long way around just to get to the incentivized chest.
Yep. See, money, Yopot, and more money.
And there's
the
the rod
from the robot.
Aha. So the double dip of Earth Cave was not required.
It was not, but it was one of those things you probably going to check sooner than the other stuff.
Possibly.
And looks like Dwight is opting. Sorry. Looks like Ragnarok is opting to skip as many chests as possible.
Yeah, that's definitely speaks of going all in on. It's basically nuke or bust. I get at this point. I think.
Also, out of bounds bat sighting on Dwight's side.
Money, lots of money. Silver gauntlets. And we saw Wildham going to Kraken side. There was a flame sword there. I think that might have been one of the best weapons we've seen so far.
Agreed.
And a pack of sorcerers on the trap tile. Not the... Scary and vanilla, not so much here. And it's an Opal bracelet. Opal plus 2, that's still good. But
That is
Ragnarok,
very good.
Ragnarok noped out of it.
I mean, again, with no loose items, you're not incentivized to really check, as many chests. Ooh, and we got Wildham on the carry on the Kraken floor.
Yep. Did he, I'm guessing Wildham didn't check much on the Sharknado floor, did he?
Checked Sharknado room and did not check the trap tile blocked chest.
Okay. It's right there on the way, I guess. Ooh, been checking some chests we hadn't seen yet in Sky. Mass immune! -2, but still mass immune!
That is a huge pickup for Min.
Yes!
They
Very
actually
much
have
so,
an
yeah.
big weapon.
It's a bit weaker than normal, but still, unless the Topher Fiends
Where the
roll
dragon
like really
arm
high
goes,
on like everything, that'll still get the job done.
Plus with level 2 temper, I believe.
Yeah.
We've seen I believe Fast was at level 5 as well.
Fast was at 3.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, that mass mute is huge for Min.
Yes.
As Rag and Wildham have completed Sky, so they have no incentive to go back there. Dwight has yet to finish, so Sky. There is a chance they will also pick up that mass mute.
Alright, we got Wildham taking on Kraken. And at the same time, Min is about to take on Tiamat. 133, 258. Dead Red Mage. Kraken bring in the thunder, and that's another party member down. Eight hits. Oh, wow. 8 hits for 816. Goodness.
Ouch.
Oh, that was the couple bonks and a fast, so yeah, that'll definitely do a lot of damage.
I thought you meant one I thought you meant Tiamat hitting the party.
No, that was Wildham hitting Kraken.
Ah.
So that's
Still, ooh, Tyro! And Min opting to take it.
and
That went
down
fast.
pretty quick. Okay, that's a good bit of experience right there.
And we have Ragnarok in Ordeals right now.
We're still looking for the floater. Still looking for the key. Still looking for the loot.
As a positive, all runners know that they will be in incentive locations. They don't have to check many.
And someone in chat mentioned that questioning why no one opted to bring a black belt. Getting a black belt, especially, let's see, what is our experience flags on this? 2.5 times 2.5 times plus 200. That's not the highest for a black belt, so a black belt grind will take a little bit. And I think one of probably the best grind tile we've seen is the 4 Chimera tile, which for a solo grind, that's really not what you want to look for.
Oh, also, we've been rated by Speed Gaming 3. Welcome to everybody that is here from Speed Gaming 3. This is the championship match for the Lich's low limit tournament. Basically, one of the side events from the main spring tournament.
It's keeping the whole casino theme going. Yep, there is the floater. It took me a moment to realize that had to be where it was, since the only other incentivized locations were the slab turn in and the bottle turn in. So that's got to be where the loot and the key are, respectively.
Yep. Basically, there are no loot items in this, except for the found early. So all 4 incentivized locations are on, and our runners are doing what we can. They're doing what they can. Do you want to give a recap, Melee, since we're almost at the hour mark?
Sure. The king had the slab, which we're gonna find out what that comes to soon enough. Sarah had the chime. Vicky had the crown, which turned into the adamant, that turned into the cube. The shop item was in Provoca, being the Oxiel. I think that was for about 11,000. Canal, being our only loose item, was in the bottom of Marsh Cave. The Circle of Sages had the crystal, which led to the herb, which led to a black shirt +3. Let's see. The ruby was in the sky incentive chest, which led to the canoe. The sea incentive was the tail. The volcano incentive was the Thor hammer. The earth incentive is the TNT, which led to the bottle, which is still open-ended. The waterfall had the rod. The Sarda had the white shirt +2. The Titans Trove. What did the Titans Tunnel have again?
Canoe.
Right, yeah, right. And the Ice Cave had Opal +2.
Which we only know because Ragnarok checked it and then noped out of it.
Yeah, it's save time saved from having to walk out, although turning down an Opal bracelet +2 can hurt a little bit.
I mean, by that point they had already gotten the dragon armor, so... Also, Dwight is on the carry floor. Char
So, did Dwight check the mermaid side? Yes, he did. He does have the tail. Okay.
Min is on their way to Volcano. Pretty sure that's where they're going.
By way of Crystal Lake, probably this. had to restock on some supplies. Unfortunately, there weren't any heal potions in Crescent Lake.
Also, Nuke coming out again from Dwight's, mages. Invis coming out on that fighter. More Nuke and.
Ooh, Kraken has fast. Ah, you don't like that. You don't like seeing that.
Coming. I mean, Kraken already has a lot of hits. You tack on some more, that's dangerous. And Thunder coming out from Kraken.
Which is actually the better option, considering the alternative.
Very, very true.
Yeah, though I think at this point, Min the Mage might actually, with that Masa pickup, might actually have a significant advantage here. Because everyone else might just be going nuke or bust, and that we'll see. We'll have to see how far you can get into Topher doing that. And Dwight takes down
59
Kraken.
minutes. And at 59 minutes, I'll say 56 seconds, Dwight has lit their first orb.
And Min getting that dragon armor. Very nice. And Dwight is making the Ordeals play, which makes sense because that's the only play he can really make right now. And yes, the Bulls have Bane, which we learned that from the fact that they are on the they're one of the two trap tiles over in the Hall of Giants, which really makes that not an appealing place. Especially since they seem to be rather ambush happy. And Ragnarok has pulled up Kraken. Ooh. Thunder takes out the fighter immediately. That's some good rolls on those nukes, though. Min finding that Thor hammer in Volcano. And Wildham about to turn in the TNT to get the bottle. And we have another raid from Speed Gaming 4. Welcome to the finals of the Lich's low limit table kind of side tournament. And I looked away, and Kraken is dead for Ragnarok. So that's orb number 3. And go ahead and head up to the waterfall and go get that rod. Pretty efficient. You might as well get the stuff that you can get while you're in the area, and then head over and get in the air. So, funny thing is, Ragnarok is the only one that actually can get into the air, just hasn't been in the area to do that yet. Although Dwight, just getting that floater just now has all the pieces right there as well.
So looks like Rag is picking up their rod.
Yep.
Here's a question. You're here, you have all the orbs. Do you actually go get the airship?
You have to.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you are right.
you'll have to eventually because it turns out the key and the loot are both floater locked. But...
You are right. This is one of those rare seeds where you can get done all the orbs without needing the floater, but you can't beat the seed without it.
Yeah, if this was a short Topher, you could, but we do not have that flag on this time around. But yeah, I expect Ragnarok to go, after leaving Waterfall, to go get Airborne.
Considering they've already beat, Kraken, most... And I believe Wildham now is on, is going to be going to carry, as well as I think they also up that Dragon Armor, but I looked away for a second and didn't see if they stopped to check those free greed checks.
I want to say the Dragon Armor was probably the best one out of the bunch anyway.
I mean, not a lot of checks for our runners, because they're not, really incentivized to do that.
Well, okay, out of what we've seen from Volcano, that was the best thing. And actually, Dwight is our first one in the air at an hour and 5.
Also, Min is almost at the incentive location in Ice. Will we see them reset? I wonder.
And well, Wildham getting that Thor hammer, and probably not very pleased with that. Question in chat, since, do you think, well, the question is, do you promote? The fact that we have Cure 4 and Life 2 Night Learnable, that by itself screams yes.
Too true, too true. And which of our characters brought thieves again?
Min is the only one that has a thief.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna see promotion on that one. If it worst case, Min will do that definitely because that is another source of nuke.
That is true. Plus, we have, Dragon Armor. And our first floater lock check, it is the loot at the ferry. Which means that the key is all the way down in the vein.
Also, blink and you miss it, and Wildham has taken down Carrie.
And so that's 3 orbs for Wildham.
Also, as Chad is pointing out, apparently Ragnarok's lead sprite is Deadpool.
Yeah, sprite alterations are a bit of an art form in this community.
Too true. Now, we do have this hospitality on that one. Also, do you think Dwight will check the level 8 spells?
Not sure what you would really be looking for. But no, he's not.
Nope. But Dwight is our first runner in Go mode, if I'm reading the tracker correctly.
Yep. It's the only one that has gotten both the key and the loot. All he has to do is finish off the Fiend dungeons, and away we go.
Looks like Ragnarok will be our second in Go mode.
Yeah, and Ragnarok will have the advantage of having 3 Fiend dungeons finished already. Although, I'll have to look at Dwight's menu to see how many orbs he's already lit, because I think he might have...
I think he's only got the 1.
So he didn't get the Thor hammer out of Volcano then?
I do not think so. But immediately going and promoting.
Yeah. If nothing else, Dragon Armor. Even if you don't, even without spells and such, Dragon Armor is a good reason to promote. Yeah, and okay, Dwight does still just have the one orb lit. Okay. Yeah, that's the black shirt, the white shirt, all the good stuff. And the fact that we had the +2 white shirt, the +3 black shirt, that actually makes the opal bracelet not as important as it might otherwise have been. And Dwight is actually checking chests in Cardia. Probably looking for that endgame sword. There's a Zeus gauntlet. Not worth keeping, though. And Ragnarok making a beeline for that level 3 white magic shop and getting that life 2 and cure 4. Well, it's not just the armor points. The dragon armor does give you resistance to fire, ice, and lightning. So that by itself can be the difference between life and death in this game. So even if it wasn't for the stats necessarily, all those resistances is really good. Though we do have all 3 ribbons found, so I don't know if the knight has one of them equipped or not. So Wildham, looks like Wildham did walk out that opal bracelet, and Dwight is back in Sky. Min the Mage is going to get the rod from Waterfall. And Ragnarok is doing a bit of inventory juggling on his way down to on his way through Earth. And Dwight's not checking the top chests in this floor, so no massa for him. That... You can't have 2 ribbons on the same person, Dwight. What direction is Wildham going? As Min picks up the rod, Dwight is on the Bridge of Destiny. And Ragnarok is our first runner to go into Deep Earth. Unfortunately, I don't think we've had a War Mech sighting yet. We still hope that this was our last trip through air, unless something unfortunate happens to Dwight right about now, which I don't want to see happen. Team at throwing out Dark, and... Right, the Lich's meme status as a speed bump. Right. Although, it looks like Lich had more health than Carrie did, which is kind of sad. And with that, Ragnarok is our first runner to have all 4 orbs lit. And we'll see if there's any preparations to be made before diving into Topher. as Dwight lights orb number 2. Wildham and Min kind of give a high five on outside of the waterfall. Alright, just shy of an hour 15, we're about to see our first entry into the Temple of Fiends revisited. I don't think we've seen too many enemies that were packing nasty abilities, so maybe they've all been backloaded. Although these bad men are being bad men. Not letting Ragnarok get through. Oh, and we have waters on the trap tile here. He's able to get away. Oh, I noticed Ragnarok only has 79 heal potions. That's concerning, especially since we've got unrunnable slimes and gotta use up resources to get through them. Considering that I think I don't know what weapon Ragnarok's using, it might still be either a coral sword or a scimitar. So, even with the power gauntlet, which I presume Ragnarok has, that's still not the best offensive option here. Oh, and unrunnable lobsters for Min, too. Lovely. Especially when they have stun touch and hit hard. The Gur Medusas have Fire 1. Wildham going into ordeals to get his floater. Yes, and while it is true that with enough saber charges from the power gauntlet you can kill Chaos with pretty much anything, it's really just a matter of how many turns does Chaos let you have to buff yourself up that far. And yep, 1 turn and Lich 2 is down. Very nice hero run getting through most of the fire floor. Yeah, just unloading with the nukes. On to carry 2. 195, 159, 163, and wow! Okay, so that was about maybe 450-ish health for carry 2. That's you like seeing that. Oh, and a nice run through the water floor as well, getting an encounter right at the end. it turns out there were zombies on the trap tile. I don't know if we had seen that before. Alright, Kraken 2! What do you have? The knight doing white shirt strats. And Kraken hit pretty hard, though the knight does survive. It's nukes all around. And Kraken throws out a nuke of his own. Oh dear, that's not good. Going quad X, is it enough? Yes, the quad X hits! Kraken 2 is down. Oh, wow, that could have ended really badly. And going 3-man for Tiamat. Let's see how things fare here. Tiamat opens with Thunder. Going melee strats here, looks like. Fasting the Knight. 6 hits for 146, that's not bad, it's not great though. And Tiamat's still hitting pretty hard. And the Knight's down. I think we're in trouble. And White entering Topher at about 120, at an hour 20 and change. Ragnarok throwing out some of his last nukes. The Quad X! The Quad X hits again! Oh, wow. And he makes it to the Chaos floor. Ooh, that Quad X is doing some good work here. Doing a little tiny victory lap. Moving one of the ribbons to the Knight. Okay. And he's rocking a Coral Sword -2. Ooh, boy, okay, yeah. That just shows kind of how hard it's been looking for weapons. Personally, I would have... I don't know who has the white... Okay, the Knight still has the white shirt. I'm not sure of that decision, honestly. The Thor Hammer going out for chip damage. That's about all we've got. The fast goes off. Chaos hitting only once for 60. That's not bad. Oh, the blaze hits though. That oof. Doesn't do too much damage to the ones with the ribbons. That's good. 2 for 2. How much damage we got? Ooh, 6 for 6. Ow, ow. And the Ice 3 goes off, and we're down to 2. I don't think I saw the Power Gauntlet on Ragnarok's side. If that's the case, I don't think Ragnarok has a shot at this. I don't think... It would be a miracle if he's able to pull this one off. Yep, no Power Gauntlet for Ragnarok. He never dug the first floor of Mirage. And Chaos throws out a nuke and a rub for good measure, and the Knight is in very much trouble. Getting some crits, but it's not gonna be enough, I don't think. 5 for 5. Stop misses. The Ice 3, and Ragnarok takes a wipe to Chaos. Meanwhile, Dwight has been making progress through Topher as well. Is at the carry 2 fight. The mages didn't have temper. The temper was on the same level as nuke, and the nukes were gone. Dwight is on the Kraken floor now. And Ragnarok looks like he's doing a Topher grind. I don't know how many nuke charges he's got on that Black Mage. I would probably bring the Black Wizard back up just to get more nuke charges. Ragnarok is heading off to maybe get some more supplies or something. Meanwhile, Dwight is on the Kraken 2 fight. Let's see how this one goes. Oh, there's the... Oh, wow, ow. Kraken throws out a nuke, and all of a sudden we're down to 2. Throws out Lit 2 for good measure. Dwight does have the power gauntlet and is doing some good work, loading up on the physical damage. And that's about all he's got, because the Knight is suddenly by himself with that, I believe that's a flame sword he's got. Not the best option, but it's still better than a coral sword, and Kraken is down. And has 1 charge of life too. One's all you need, and everyone is back up. Dwight's on Tiamat 2, more fast, more invis stacks. Oh, throwing out a lock 2 for good measure, and nope, there's Tiamat bringing the thunder. Meanwhile, Wildham taking on Lich, the final fiend for the final orb for Wildham. Ooh, 8 hits for 468, and Tiamat 2 is down for Dwight.
Looks like Dwight, I won't say might steal this one, but this is going to be tough. Also, looks like Wildham is going to be our third runner into Topher.
Yep, at 1 hour and 28. All be told, Dwight does have better resources than Ragnarok has. Just having the power gauntlet alone makes this a more manageable fight, and it's led because of swinging with the flame sword. Didn't have to rely on nukes and fades all through. Although it did just use the White Wizard's last level 2 slot on a temper, so he's going going big on physical. Let's see how things work, how it works.
So Dwight is in the volcano, opting to grind those chimeras. Looks like they're opting for levels versus checking the tile, the trap tile, the armory.
Looks like it. I don't think anyone checked the armory, did they?
No, they did not.
Yeah, just rushing the incentive, which you got here quickly. Now it's just a matter of can you actually get through.
Let's go Chaos.
And 8 hits for 814. That's the kind of damage you like.
Yep. So let's see, Nuke coming out. 194. Ink coming out from Chaos. Return.
Yep.
Cure 4 coming out.
Mostly as a safety measure, just in case Chaos did something nasty. Had something nastier than that. Ow. Was that over 1,000 damage just then?
Don't know, but this is probably going to be the final hit.
No, it's not. So that was about 3,000 damage done, over 3,000 damage done so far.
And still that one. Yeah. Another ink coming out.
And 8 hits for 828. Chaos is down. And your winner of the Lich Low Limit Tournament is Dwight. GG.
Get your GGs in chat for him. Want to see about pulling them in here?
And we have Dwight in the booth. GG.
Thanks, Hooks.
That was definitely an interesting race, for sure. You actually kind of stole this one. Yep, you were actually the second one into Topher, but behind Ragnarok, but you were better equipped than Ragnarok was, and actually still is.
By 2 pieces of gear that made the difference. The Power Gauntlet and a Flame Sword.
Yep, and Ragnarok has neither of them.
Oh boy. I thought I was in trouble. I knew I wasn't going to look for one either. If one didn't come to me, I wasn't going to find one.
Yeah, Ragnarok Ragnarok made it all the way to Chaos, quad-Xing both Krakatu and Tiamat-2. And it turns out that a Coral Sword -2 without any buffs outside of Fast doesn't really work.
On that Chaos had a lot of health. So if you're trying to swing a weak sword with no Power Gauntlet, you're not going to get through. And had some good sweepers, so I'm glad I went with the strats that I went with.
Yeah, because you actually had a quote-unquote viable sword, you didn't have to use up all your nukes right away like Ragnarok did. Because Ragnarok was pretty much had no charges left when he actually got to Chaos.
Also, I might add, the best sword we have found is on Min the Mage's side. They did find a massive new. It was a -2, and it was
It was in the top room in Sky 3.
I greed checked 4 chests in Sky 3, which I think had a ribbon in it too, so I got pretty rewarded for that. I wasn't going to push my luck.
Yeah, we actually found all 3 ribbons today.
This is the first seed I've ran on these flags that I found 3 ribbons. And I'm glad I had them too. It definitely helped me get through.
Definitely. So, as far as routing goes, how did you feel about where the seed was kind of forcing you to go to?
So, I did some things that I thought, I tried to like take a little bit of a gamble, like doing Rodless Earth that didn't end up paying out. But I was like, well, I had this chime in the cube, so I was like, well, I'm gonna sky. I was pretty low level when I went there, but my plan was I was gonna check those boxes, and sky ended up being loaded because that's where I found the power gauntlet and stuff.
Yep.
And I would just get some levels. I'll use a house. I'll go back in, get the incentive chest, and come back down. I was like, it's gonna be a little slow, but I can't. It was either that or try to save up money for the Oxale in Provoca, which I didn't really want to do. I figured this would give me enough money, and plus I have that dock at the top, so I could just sail down, go buy the Oxale, sail up, and around if it didn't lead anywhere. Well, then it led to the Ruby in the incentive chest, and then the Ruby led to the canoe. And so once the Ruby led to the canoe, I was like, whoa, if somebody didn't go sky first, you could wander around looking for something for a while.
Yeah, you were the first one to make the sky play, although I believe I want to say Ragnarok wasn't too far behind, but he basically went in, grabbed the Ruby, and then just took out Tiamat right then and there. Pretty much skipped everything, which is why he didn't get the power gauntlet.
I didn't feel confident that I could beat Tiamat with the gear that I had at the time. I didn't have the white shirt, I didn't have anything. If Tiamat, threw a wet noodle at me, I would have died. I feel like, so that's why I didn't bother.
Yeah, Ragnarok just spammed nukes and that was the end of it.
I mean, it's nuke. 27 casts if the Black Mage was alive. And nuke.
Meanwhile,
Remember, I only have 2 nuke casters too, so sorry, call Wildham's thing.
I was just gonna say all 3 of our runners are in Topher, all on three different feed fights as well. And Wildham just took down Tiamat too.
So this is going to be interesting on that one. Now, we do know that Chaos actually has a nuke.
Yes, he does.
In the pool.
The Ice 3 is nothing to scoff at either, even with all these ribbons.
Very, very true.
And, the nuke comes out from Kraken 2, and Ragnarok's down to 2 party members again. The Quad X comes out. Was it enough? Yet, Quad X works again.
And well, Chaos. After first some white shirts, some fast power bonk, and a temper. Stop coming out. Fast coming out. Night. White shirt coming out. Not making that night. Ice 3 coming out from Chaos. Swinging 9 hits. Was that 900 and change damage?
941, yeah.
And with that lock coming out, that's going to make it even easier.
I didn't look to see what weapon the knight's using.
Let's see. We might be able to tell off the swing. Tier 4 coming out onto that knight. Temper coming out on that black mage swinging. Not sure, but 10 hits, 1600 damage.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that's a Masa. Because that much damage that quickly, that's pretty good.
Yeah, when can you miss it? We probably missed Wildham grabbing that one.
Yeah.
We knew Win actually did, but if Wildham has it, then yeah. Chaos gonna go down real fast.
Meanwhile, Ragnarok takes down
Yep.
Tiamat, and Chaos is down for Wildham.
Get your GGs in chat.
Yeah, Wildham finishing second place with an official SRL time of 1:31.58. Dwight finishing first with a time of 1:30.14. GG to you both.
So, looks like Ragnarok's on Chaos as well for the second time.
Yeah, let's see if how he's faring on. Okay, he actually does have some nuke and temper charges.
And white shirt.
And the white shirt, which is still on the knight. Because I think all he did was grind for some levels on the Chimera tile for a little bit. He didn't go out to even try to look for equipment. I don't think anyone ever checked what was in the armory in Volcano, which feels really weird to see.
Bunch of stacks of temper on that sword. Swinging Chaos not taking down the Black Mage this time.
Yeah, thankfully Chaos wasn't hitting too hard, but that's not really what you're watching out for on this one.
Yep. Stop coming out, hitting that Black Mage and one of those Red Mages. White shirt coming out. Yield 3 coming out.
I'm still questioning having the white shirt on the knight in this particular case.
I mean, swing coming out. 8 hits, 4.
Wow.
Temper will let you do anything.
Yeah, if Chaos lets you do it, yeah.
Aim to throw out a nuke for 300 damage.
Nice.
Fire 3 coming out.
8 hits for 1400.
Also, looks like Min is taking Chaos right now as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Actually, Ragnarok had Fade on at least one of the Red Wizards. Nice.
Yep, went back and bought it.
Only did 86, but boom! Chaos is down for Ragnarok. Finishing in 3rd place with an official time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 5 seconds. GG.
And we'll have to pull both Wildham and Ragnarok in here. Probably because, and Min will be finishing soon, so we can probably pull them in as well.
Depending on whether they want to come in.
Oh, that's if they want an interview.
Right. Yeah, we already see Ragnarok is already in chat here. Looks like he'll be declining an interview.
Also, as Ragnarok pointing out, apparently the Coral Sword has a high crit rate, which is why they were good with it. The old, I mean, it works. It works.
Even though Coral -2 doesn't really speak that well on the crit rate, but yeah, if you have enough buffs, you can make anything work. So we proved it right there.
Good strategy in chat for Min the Mage, who has taken down Chaos as well.
Yep, finishing with a time of 141.13. So all 4 of our runners getting a sub 145. Very nicely done.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's super fast for the way that I felt like the seed had to run you around the whole world to be able to get the floater.
Probably the thing that helped was the fact that the canal was the only loose item, so that you're not hunting around for like a loose cube or something.
Yeah, I know that's been one of the interesting things within this flag set. That I've heard from a lot of runners that since they knew that there was no other loose items, that it gave them a lot of freedom to skip a lot of chests.
Which, are you going to risk missing out on some good equipment? Yes, but in a race scenario, sometimes you just gotta go.
For the most part, that's been my strategy throughout this whole entire tournament. I skipped a lot of boxes. And I think in this particular seed, I opened a few more boxes than normal, but once I felt like I had the equipment to win, I just stopped. I only opened and checked stuff that I knew I needed to win.
Yeah, thankfully,
it was just fortunate for me that a couple of the early fetch quests turned into the white shirt and black shirt, which meant that I didn't need to look for armor for my mages later. And then as long as I found the tail, then that was good. And I ended up finding the tail. Kind of sadly, I was kind of upset when I went up in mermaids and found the tail, because I was hoping it was the floater so I could get moving. But tail ended up being pretty big, just being able to have that promotion on that night. And that was the big decision I think that I made that really helped me. I was like, should I stop and get life 2 on my night before I go to Topher, or do I just go? And I was like, well, it's right in Elfland. It'll take me 5 seconds to buy it and save and leave. And I did, and that ended up being huge.
Yeah, it saved your butt. I believe it was after Kraken, you were down to just the night. And if it wasn't for that life 2, you would have had to either man mode the rest of it or start all over again. And given how close everyone finished, that could have made the difference between 1st and 4th.
Agreed. Everybody did a fantastic job. GG's to everybody.
I mean, it only takes one cast of a spell to, make things dramatically, change.
Yeah, if Rag wouldn't have ran out of charges too in his chaos fight, then I probably would have gotten second as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ragnarok, he was either through necessity or otherwise. He used up most of his charges going through the feed refights in the early goings, which you didn't really necessarily need to, because a decent number of these fiends had not a lot of health. Like both versions of Carrie had like no health at all.
Yeah, Carrie 1 was especially paper. I was like, I cast 2 spells and she died, and I was like, okay, that's sweet. Gotta go fast. But yeah, my strategies for the first 2 fiend fights was I was gonna use like harm and a couple of nukes to take down Lich, and then for Kraken and Tia and Chaos, I was just gonna try some do fast temper power bonk and just see if I can make it through. It ended up working out. I got super lucky against Kraken though. Like took out both my top mages before I could do anything, and then just casted spells the rest of the time, allowing my knight to chip them down.
And it's at that moment that even having a flame sword it's not the best option, but it's serviceable in that sort of scenario.
Weapon. It's a weapon.
Yep. Goodness knows, would I be comfortable going into Topher with anything less than an ice sword? Probably not. But then again, I'm not really I don't really have the racing mindset down like a lot of you guys do.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been comfortable with the flame sword if I didn't have the power gauntlet and like the white shirt and stuff.
Yeah.
So
the white shirt and the power gauntlet and temper charges at a good level, that can cover up a lot of nasty things.
I forget who said it in chat, but with enough temper charges, even a wooden stick can take down Chaos.
Enough temper charges, power gauntlet, yeah. It's just a matter of will Chaos or whatever you're fighting actually give you the time to buff it up that high to reasonable levels.
yeah, thanks for doing commentary tonight for this finals match, Magus and Melee Wizard.
No problem.
Not at
Dark
all.
Moon, thanks for tracking. Big shout outs to Silverfire, who organized this tournament. I had an absolute blast the entire time.
Right, so I don't think any of our other runners are going to be coming in for an interview, so might be time to wrap things up here. A couple of big things coming up in the realm of Final Fantasy I Randomizer. We do have the Duck Derby coming up. I don't exactly know when that is.
I think it's coming up. I think it's this week at some point. I'm not positive. God, I don't have the schedule up in front of me.
July 3rd for the first one.
July 3rd.
Okay, so yeah, it's coming up. That's in 2 days, actually. Wow.
Yep, Friday. We also have I think we have an Iron Golem match at some point. Wait, did you and Rag ever decide on something? Because I think you two were debating about doing a match or something.
I am probably going to race Gouda after the Duck Derby is over on Friday. I'll also be racing in the Duck Derby, but just before that too. But track 1 is so fast that it's, because you start with airship. It's going to be super awesome, by the way, for anybody who's watching the Duck Derby. It's 9 p.m. EST on Friday. I think there's going to be a couple of restream channels. It's going to be, the first track is you get a free airship, and there's no loose items, and so you're just going pedal to the metal the whole time. It's awesome.
One other event that's coming up soon, starting on July 19th, we have the co-op tournament. So that should be interesting. And leading back to the whole Iron Gall thing, that could be the precursor to a potential tag team division that's in the works.
I believe it's already going to be.
Well, yeah, but I think the general consensus was that it'll get in full swing after the co-op tournament's over.
True enough, and as Danny points out in chat, Duck W versus are going to be 7-3, 7-5, 7-10, 7-11, all at 9 p.m.
All right, so I don't know if the signups are already closed on that or what, but even if you're like brand new to the game, if you're liking what you're seeing, jump in, because there's a lot of resources in the Discord server. If you have any questions at all, there's no such thing as a stupid question. I, for one, often take that as a challenge, but I'm not going to go there this time. So if you have any questions regarding pretty much anything regarding the randomizer, just ask. There'll be someone that'll help guide you through whatever might be troubling you there. So, any final thoughts, Dwight, on this seed or on the randomizer in general?
Yeah, this community is great. Join the Discord. This seed was pretty fun and probably one of all these runners. Wildham, Min the Mage, and Ragnarok are both fantastic runners. And yeah, all you need is a flame sword and a power bonk. That's all you need. And always buy life 2 on your knight. That's what I'm taking in this seed, right? Evidence, results-based thinking. Always buy life 2 on your knight if you can.
Hey, I'm a huge fan of just life 2 or even a fade charge on that knight if you can get it. Because if damage isn't working, hey, you can always cast at least one charge of fade.
It's always good to have options.
Big thanks to Speed Gaming for letting us have our finals on their channel too. That's awesome of them to let us do that.
Yeah, and we've got all the people at Speed Gaming behind the scenes. We've got our tracker Dark Moon, my fellow commentator Magius. Without everyone behind the scenes, we would not be able to put on these wonderful shows for you guys. Yeah, so for everyone at Speed Gaming, I am Melee Wizard, and have a nice night.